What is up, YouTube? My Cowboys family here, bringing you guys the latest update on our very own Dallas Cowboys. And of course, as always, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Take a second, hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us on all social media at MyCowboysFamily, and hop on the Discord. Link for that's in the description box down below.
Yes. Back for another one. And again, guys, thank you for hanging in with us last night. We had obviously a different kind of situation. We still went overtime. Tonight's a little bit less busy, but we have, always something to discuss on our Dallas Cowboys. And today, obviously, very important when it comes to adding a starter possibly to this team.
That's right.
And your neck of the woods, baby. But we'll talk about this and more tonight here on My Cowboys Family. Everything good with little Jay, my daughter. She's out and about on the way to Italy, and be arriving probably right after this stream ends. So, yeah, we are excited, a little nervous, but very excited. The first time she's going overseas by herself with a small group of top students from her high school. So we're very proud. And now let's talk Dallas Cowboys, and we're very proud here of others here, part of the family, like the people that took over. Well, I should say the person that took over. Pretty much 4 out of the 5 boards. The man, Jason Renfro, repping that.
Shout out to you, Jason.
Repping that Randy White 80s jersey. He won it right here on a raffle from a little bit ago. Much love to Jason Renfro, the sponsor of the week. He's also the Cash App King, representing the entire week, and he's got Roger Staubach numbers right there. 12 points up there on the Stream Boss. Now, if you talk about the leaders this week, no, don't go any farther on the Cash App board. It is Jason Renfro once again. He is currently the leader, and he also dropped a $1.96 holler earlier. Actually, it was I think last night. I think my phone was acting up. Either way, Jason Renfro, much love. $1.96 holler, and he's leading in that Cash App. I think with a total of $2.96 right now, and in that trying to go back to back, right? And on the overall board, he's there number 6. Even Eastside's above him. We got a lot of people on this board this week. Lincoln Kane, back in that star level membership. Much love to the man from Australia there, are repping that star over everything. And then Dwayne Broussard also. Got to give a big shout out to Dwayne Broussard because he is moving up on this board as well. He dropped a $2 thanks on a previous short that we posted earlier today. And of course, a pre-stream $2 holler by the man DB, the OG. What did he have to say,
classic. Baby? Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. You know it here on MCF. It's always about the Dallas Cowboys, the navy blue, silver too, and that star for everything. So just a couple of names just to shout out here. Of course, in first place here. Dwayne Broussard's in second. First place is Mark Hovsepian, the man from Hawaii.
Representing.
Yes, much love to him. He's got the inline track, I guess you can say, to that sponsor of the week. He's got the lead. So we'll see what happens as this week continues. And I'm talking about months here because the gifting champion, the last 2 months back to back, like our 90s Cowboys, right there above us. Skeptical fan, 35 gifted memberships to a lot of family members watching here. So truly one of the best ways to give back and help the channel is that way. So extra special love to Skeptical fan. The last 2 months of domination. Now this month, he is in the lead now with an 8 gifting memberships right now for the month of July. And Jason Renfro's got 2 in the mix. So we'll see how that continues throughout the month. That battle ensues. And of course, always the nightly shout-out, star-level members, Skeptical Fan, Lincoln Kane, Mary Alvarez, Jason Renfro, and I got to give another big shout-out to Dwayne Broussard. He's in second place for a reason. Back in that star level. Appreciate the man, the top dog. Go sub it up to his channel up there, Dwayne Broussard. Appreciate him and everybody in the house. Now, of course, you can do super chats. You can just help the channel out. There's a little commercial break, commercial intro. But, super chats. We got memberships, which have their perks, and gifting memberships. We talked about this. There's also the thanks that you saw Dwayne Broussard drop on a previous video.
There's a few other different ways.
4 other ways, and it's even more important this week. As you can see, there's a raffle going down here. We just celebrated 6 years on Saturday. This Sunday coming up, July 9th, guys, we have a Sewn and Stitched jersey to give away. And a raffle off here. You can build up your entries, and there's, of course, bonus ways to add to that. But first, how are the other ways they can drop the love here to get into this raffle?
Of course, guys, we have the Cash App, money sign My Cowboys Family, the Venmo at My-Cowboys-Family, the regular PayPal link, of course. And last but not least, you do have the Streamlabs, which lets your comments show up right here on screen, just like a super chat.
All that this week. Again, Saturday night, it shuts down. But this week, 6-year anniversary, like we said, the raffle, sewn and stitched jersey, old players, new players. We're not giving this one to you. You guys are choosing which one you want out of the stock, which is a good hefty amount. Different styles, every size pretty much. Second place, the Man Skeptical Fan has a special prize, a T-shirt, the Cowboys in the front there. So, again, first place jersey, second place T-shirt. How can people get into this raffle, baby, and add to their raffle entries and even bonus raffle entries?
Of course, if you drop $6, celebrating 6 years of MCF so far, bam, automatically entered. Every additional $6, and cumulatively, right? It doesn't have to be all at once.
Carries over days.
But every $6 on top of that is another bonus entry. And of course, you already know, but membership does have its perks. So if you're Navy Blue, Silver, or Star, you do get a bonus entry.
Navy Blue gets the 1, Silver gets the 2, Silver 2 gets 2. The Star level gets 3 bonus raffle entries. And of course, over everything, if anybody jumps into that, you get 5 bonus raffle entries.
That's right. So again, shout out to everyone who's entered so far. Can't wait to see who the lucky winners.
Good luck to the winner.
I should say is going to be, because we do have a second place prize thanks to Skeptical Fan.
So good luck to the winners, but the winner of the jersey, the winner of the T-shirt, and all family here on the channel with us. Appreciate every single one of you guys. So we want 6 and beyond, baby. Who's in the house here talking Cowboys with us tonight?
We have Scorpio in the house representing, and yes, I think every Cowboy household should have an Eagle jersey for emergency toilet paper services. So, Rolando Rodriguez, what's up? Much love. Yes, we're obviously going to be touching on the kicking situation, since that is my forte, you could say. So we have number 2 with Fries. Hello and hi. Aztec Aguilar 04. Much love to you. Even Lee Side Harold, he said, I gotta come talk real football here.
Dallas Cowboy football.
Bama Fan, hello and hi.
In the house.
We have Mansfield Kirkland, long time no see, what's up? Eric Wallace in the house, hello. Andy Potched, much love,
Andy.
hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
We have Texas Twister representing. Alonda Haslu, hopefully you're having a great night. Dwayne Broussard, the top dog himself. We have Scorpio representing. Eastside Herald, hello and hi, what's up? Jason Renfro, much love to you. Let me see. I think that's everybody here so far. Yep. So again, as people kind of trickle in and roll in, I'll make sure to shout them out as they come through. But baby, I'm gonna go ahead and hand things over to you. I know we have some things to touch on. I was gonna say some NFL stuff before we get to the official Cowboy stuff.
Yeah. So let's get it on. Let's kick it off. So first and foremost, just really quickly, NFL-wise, NFL news. DeAndre Hopkins, free agent out there that crossed through the Cowboy, lips multiple times this offseason. He's still out there, visited the Tennessee Titans and visited the New England Patriots, still hanging around out there. He doesn't have a new home yet, right? Still a free agent. He continues to wait for the right offer, according to his side of things, after meeting both of those teams. Of course, DeAndre Hopkins, 31 years old, has not had a 1,000-yard season since 2020, since 2020, guys. So again, been a while since he had a 1,000-yard year. He's only played 19 games combined in the last 2 seasons, and he missed 15 because of suspension and injuries. Now, he made 106 receptions for 1,289 yards and 11 touchdowns when you combine, though, when he did play the last 2 seasons combined. On Thursday, DeAndre Hopkins said this on social media, that he will retire when he's not a 1,000-yard receiver anymore. So, again, I don't know if you put down, he had played a little more than a full season there, got 1,200 yards. That's what he's using, but he missed so much of that suspension, injury. Can you trust him to continue to be a 1,000-yard, quote-unquote, 1,000-yard receiver? He said, DeAndre Hopkins said, quote, "I'll retire from football when I'm not a 1,000-yard receiver." With that said, I was on pace for 1,400 yards last year, one significant injury in 11 years. I might be playing till I'm 37, the way I feel. We'll see. Obviously making a pitch and holding out for a better offer.
I was just about to say that I imagine that if he feels like he still can produce a 1,000-yard season, that's maybe another motivating factor for him to not hang up his cleats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there is extenuating circumstances, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, honestly, wish him the best, right? Not really.
I mean, hey, listen.
I'm just saying, don't really have too much more to add to that, but good luck to him, and at least health-wise, hopefully, like he said, exactly, like that was at least the biggest thing holding him back in the more recent timeline.
Yeah, I mean, again, one significant injury, he said. Now, look, I'm saying this because we're not getting him. I just want to make sure every Cowboy fan knows that. But he was mentioned with us. Now, let's talk about now let's turn to the Cowboys and our free agency. Now, of course, there's old Steve Jones, right? Now, Stephen Jones, he's the guy doing due diligence on the whole fucking league, on every single player out there, it seems like. But, we always kind of get we go left rather than go right, or whatever it may be, right? So, of course, we still talk about running back situation, a power running back. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. We talked about Leonard Fournette, talked about Darrell Henderson type of guy that can maybe be the backup to Pollard. And, of course, Ezekiel Elliott, that it sounds like if that's not going to happen. But we did sign a free agent today. I guess you could say he's technically a free agent. And we finally did it. We finally did it. Zeke's not here, but we finally got ourselves a kicker. Ow. The back of Stephen Jones' neck, probably not feeling too good. It's not a Niner. It's not a 49er. It's not Robbie Gould. We'll say who it is in a minute here and go and break down everything you want to know about this guy. But first, we got the man, Jason Renfro, kicking it off live here during the stream. First one dropped. The dollar holler there by Jason Renfro. What did he say?
Go Cowboys.
Always.
Thank you, Jason.
Always.
I appreciate you. Much love. Kind of rolling back to what you were just saying, baby.
Yeah, no.
No. I'm just saying, shout out to you, Jason. Much love.
Hey, but we're not done with Jason because Jason dropping the king of the Cash App. The Cash App king. He's got the lead, continues his lead. Another dollar holler in the Cash App. You know what he said, baby. Go Cowboys. You know the deal. Much love to Jason Renfro here, doubling up. One in the Cash App, one in the Super Chat. Appreciate you as always. And he's got 13 Michael Gallup points up on that stream, boss. Now, as you can see, he's right in my face, but he's actually kicking the back of Stephen Jones' head there. But let's just talk about it. So we had talked about a USFL guy for how long, baby? We knew the Cowboys were definitely looking to, we said XFL, but USFL was kind of like the prime second league, I guess you can say, behind the NFL as of now.
Cowboys were so happy with what they got from Turpin. They said, there's other
Let's
talent. Exactly. Like, there's other talent to be
especially on special team. We got guys from there that we picked up that were defensive players. They didn't pan out too much. Of course, Turpin, an offensive player, but more of the special teams reason we brought him in here. Another special teams guy. Today was signed. Again, we have Tristan Vizcaíno. I'm going to go through this. It's probably going to be repetitive, so bear with me, guys. Leave your thoughts and comments below as I break them down.
Because, again, a lot of these names are names we've been talking about for a little while now.
And he's actually one of the names we've been talking about. The Cowboys today officially signed former USFL kicker, which is they let him go at the end of the USFL season, which was I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. Cowboys today officially signed kicker Brandon Aubrey. You see him right there from the USFL. Now, he's not our starter yet, but very possibly could be our starter. Last year we got Garibay, remember him? And he unfortunately did not pan out, and like anyone thought. There was no real backup plan. We brought in Hajrulahu and Brett Maher, and he easily, Maher won that competition. Garibay was a disaster day. And this year we'll see what happens with another guy who has limited to no NFL experience. I'll talk about it in a minute, a guy from the USFL. But first, let's talk about the guy with limited knowledge on what a great team is. But the man from Houston, Cowboys' biggest fan there in Houston, Eastside Harold.
He knows enough to be on the winning side of the YouTube things, right? Since I know where he's at all the time. I never seen you on a Houston channel. So, but yes.
There are no Houston channels.
Exactly. Eastside Harold said, go Cowboys with that dollar holler.
Hell yeah. Much love there. Go Cowboys. He knows. Jason Renfro, back to Roger Staubach points, 12 points up there. So, Brandon Aubrey, he's up there for this kicking job now, battling Tristan Vizcaíno. The Cowboys, brought in a free agent now, officially a free agent. We finally signed a guy we knew was coming sooner or later. The Birmingham Stallions. This is the USFL team that drafted this kicker here. He's been as their kicker the last 2 seasons. Okay, last year he made 14 out of 15 field goal attempts. He missed 1 field goal attempt last season. for the Birmingham Stallions. He made all 35 extra points for the Birmingham Stallions in 2023. He is from Plano, Texas.
Awesome.
He's from Plano, Texas. He's a native to the area. He played soccer. This is going to be important. Played soccer at Notre Dame.
Okay.
And, of course, we know he's going to compete with Tristan Vizcaino for the starting kicking role. They're not keeping both. Now, some background on him real quick, and I'll dive a little deeper in this. We got a quote or two. He's a professional soccer player. Played for the MLS. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Transitioned after a couple of years there to football, to the NFL, or not the NFL, but to football kicking. Yeah. First kicker ever drafted by the Birmingham Stallions of the USFL. He was on the 2022 All-USFL team. His stats for the entire year, and it might be in other. He might have been in other leagues too. I'll explain in a minute. But he basically was 16 out of 17, whatever the extra kicks were. 16 of 17. I don't know if they count in playoffs on that. 16 of 17 on the field goal side of things. 44 out of 45 extra points made. His all-time career stats in the USFL: 37 made out of 44 field goal attempts. He made 73, extra points. Out of 73 out of 77, all right? He's a two-time USFL champion. Again, the Birmingham Stallions won back-to-back. And again, for the Stallions, he's a future Hall of Famer. Now, last year, as you said, baby, the Cowboys brought in Cavante Turpin out of the USFL. He was named to the Pro Bowl in 2022 season. So, again, dipping back in there, Will McClay and company, liking what they're seeing from the USFL when it comes to specifically special teams. The Cowboys now, they had 88 players. We're up to 89 players on our official roster with training camp approaching. 89 players out of 90. We have one more spot open. Will it be Dalton Reisner, a guard? Will it be a running back of some sort? Would it be a linebacker of some sort? We'll see. If that happens, I think it might happen a week or maybe a couple days into training camp when you get a player on offense or defense. Well, we shall see. Now,
I did want to touch on one quick comment here.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit up a quick shout out. I got pages of this for you guys.
So first of all, Lost in Translation, awesome, representing on the Birmingham side. But real quick, Scorpio throughout there, kicker is one of the most important positions in football. They can decide if you win or lose in the fourth or OT. Never fails that the clown show doesn't address the most important role.
They used to not address the safeties. That's been addressed. Thank you, Dan Quinn. They used to not address the defensive interior one tech, big run stop. Now they're addressing it with Dan Quinn there. Now they're opening. Maybe they haven't opened their eyes yet at the kicker spot, in my opinion. Jason Renfro, though, he's always got his eyes open with a $1.60 holler here in the super chat. What did the man say? As he's building towards more and more raffle entries. What did he say?
He said, "Go Cowboys."
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. Much love. So, but yes, obviously I had to read Scorpio's comment.
Yeah, no doubt. And Jason Renfro, by the way.
Definitely preaching to the choir here.
You know it. You're the mastermind of the kicking spot. But 14 points for Jason Renfro, hanging on there with Jabril Cox. Now, this kicker you're seeing here kicking the side of Steve Jones' head there. Listen, here's the deal.
He's just punching a football. I know what you're talking about.
no, that's after a kick there. He's got. Listen.
I'm messing with you.
I know. But he's just kicking the field goal through Stephen Jones' ear. I don't know. Look, originally a star on the soccer field, he played 4 years of soccer at Notre Dame. He scored 15 goals in his soccer career there in 76 appearances as a defender. He was drafted in the first round. Now, again, this guy you're seeing here, we're going back to the field goal, to the soccer days with kickers. There was a lot more soccer kickers back when I remember in the 80s that made it big in the NFL. So, I don't know, we're going back to that in some ways. Well, with this guy, again, he played a lot. He was drafted in the first round of the MSL draft in 2017 by Toronto Football Club.
Okay.
His soccer career, though, came to an end the following year at the end of 2018. So, again, he played in 2017, 2018, Toronto. Career, whatever the reason, ended with the soccer realm of things. And now, of course, we know he went to the USFL. Now he's in Dallas. So, with the Cowboys, he joins us competing with that starting kicker job with Tristan Vizcaino, which, again, training camp kicks off, no pun intended, July 24th in Oxnard, California. Now, this is the thing. We'll talk about this. I want to hear from you guys. I want to make sure I get everything out first, then we'll discuss it. But Mason Crosby, still out there. We literally talked about him the last 2 nights. Last night we talked also about Robbie Gould, still out there. many others. We talked about Nick Folk weeks ago. He's going to be released by the Patriots. We talked about other teams, other guys out there, Matt Prater and many, many others, Ryan Suckup. They're still out there floating around. So the Cowboys, they even though these guys are out there, they rather pay this guy minimum, like maybe $500,000 less than Robbie Gould and $500,000 less than Mason Crosby. Trust me, the veteran minimum's probably not going to be that much for those two guys. This guy's just a little cheaper. Cowboys have over $20 million in cap. So this is not about money. This is about, to me, more about the Cowboys don't want to mess with old kickers anymore. They want to get someone new, find their own guy. It's more of an ego thing, and sometimes it feels like find your own guy and then say, look, we got a great kicker here. It's going to take us into 20 years of kicking. Who knows? So either way, both these guys and more are available out there, veterans. The Cowboys did not bring these guys in, not even a tryout, nothing like this. The Cowboys remain insistent that they're going to cast a wide net. And they had said this multiple times. They mentioned XFL. They focused on USFL. We talked about that here multiple days for multiple months on this channel.
Yeah.
So it's not a surprise to anyone, right?
This is our front office's idea as far as how to get what they consider to be a more high-quality player that could maybe have a bigger impact and contribute more for the equivalent of $5 football dollars.
But again, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think money is that. I mean, it's always a big deal with these guys. But unless Mason Crosby and Robbie Gould are asking for $4 million, $3 million, or $2 million, which might be, this is not about money. Now, if they're asking for $2 million and the Joneses are kind of like, I don't know. I mean, you're literally paying them, $500,000 more. $1 million more than, let's say, the $900,000 you're paying this guy. You're paying these guys $1,800. I mean, $1.8 million. My point is that if you want the security of a veteran, I still would bring in a veteran. And let them all compete. Let the best man win. If Mason Crosby can beat these guys when we're paying him an extra $500,000 or extra $1 million. Who gives a shit? Give me Mason Crosby. If you're gonna have two shits battling it out, I got a problem with that. And no offense to any of these guys, Vizcaino or Aubrey, but I just want to make a point. It's just don't fool yourselves because he kicked well and beat out Tristan Vizcaino. He's beat out Mason Crosby, beat out Robbie Gould. Then I'm like, all right, cool. We got a guy we can at least put a little more confidence into the season. We don't know, he's going to play during the season in the NFL for the first time. So a lot of questions to be answered. Obviously, I'm okay with this move. He's solid as an accurate kicker inside, but not a far-ranging, strong-legged kicker. He is not a strong kicker. So, and I'll get into this a little bit more in this discussion. So let me get back on focus here. And again, veterans, we went with the USFL guy, which the Cowboys been telling us basically they're going to do that for the last couple of months. Again, referring to the USFL, Kevontae Turpin, we got him last year. Same situation, this local standout from TCU. Now we got another local standout, both special team style, right? So, again, when I say look into this a little more, and we see what Brandon Aubrey has done in soccer. All right, in soccer. Aubrey is a former Notre Dame soccer standout. He was damn good at Notre Dame. You heard the stats already. He was again in the MLS, the Major League Soccer, which is the professional soccer in soccer league in.
I think you're going to say MLB, so I'm like,
no, MLS, soccer
career
league.
In baseball, I guess.
But he's one of the top kickers since he's been in the USFL, transitioning to the sport of football. He went 18 for 22 in his first season at the Birmingham Stallions and the USFL kicker. Even though his overall volume of kicks went down this year, he's improved his success rate to 86% this past season. For the second season in a row, Aubrey is considered one of the best kickers in the USFL.
So again, he might be kicking us a little bit less, but he's more accurate when he's doing it.
He's gotten more accurate, but again, it's through the USFL. That's always like an asterisk in my mind. But again, he's definitely considered one of the top kickers. I think him and Luis Aguilar, which is the guy we were kind of championing. Both these guys are probably the best two choices. I remember when we went over this a month ago or two. These are the two guys I had on my list. I had Aguilar a little above, but it's a coin flip. Let's be honest. It's USFL. So again, Aguilar has more of a stronger leg. But he's maybe a little less accurate.
I do have to interrupt you here for just one quick second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Burn Bar is in the chat.
Burn
Bar, huge shout out to you. Please send us an email, mycowboysfamily@gmail.com, and let us know your address because Skeptical Fan did send us that hat for you.
Yeah,
so,
it's waiting here for you. Again, address, P.O. Box, friend's house, whatever.
Yeah, wherever you
let
want
us know.
To send it,
yeah.
let us know.
We'll ship it to you there and say go Cowboys and congrats and thanks to the man skeptical fan, always staying skeptical, adding to the...
You know it.
You know it. So appreciate everybody there. And, of course, skeptical, much love. Thank you. Now, let me get back to this for a second here because, again, second year in a row, Aubrey's considered one of the best kickers in the league. Despite this late transition from soccer, which he did most of his life, to the last couple of years of football-style kicking, right? So what did he say about this, baby? I know you have a quote from Aubrey about his life after soccer. What did he say? How did this transpire when it comes to Brandon Aubrey, our new kicker battling Tristan Vizcaino for that starting spot? What did he say about transitioning from soccer to the football field?
Saying, quote, "It was 3 months before I realized I really enjoyed professional sports more than sitting in an office. So I went and got a football, went to a local football field to see what I could do. Then I found a kicking coach in Dallas to see what he could teach me. And eventually he told me, put myself out there in the free agent cycle."
And boom, that's what he did.
I don't know what coach that was and if there's maybe any internal connection to the Cowboys.
I don't know.
Not saying there's collusion, just saying that.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
You know, maybe there's a little something there.
Yeah, but kicking coach in Dallas could be, it means Dallas the city, not the Cowboys.
I agree. I'm just saying, you know, you can't work in football or any NFL adjacent thing in Dallas, I think, without at least knowing something Cowboy adjacant.
Yeah.
Someone Cowboy adjacent.
I mean, Cowboys America, you know, Hankins said this a couple days ago. When he was in New York, drafted by the Giants, he was, thought that was the media spot of the world there. He came to Dallas for football, and he got traded, of course. He was 70 people looking for him to ask him questions from the media. He said, that's only for quarterback. He thought they were going to talk to Dak, and he's like, really, for me? So he said he'd never seen anything like that in any city. Cowboys are a football, the Dallas area, Dallas, Texas area. It is all Cowboys for life, and that's deep. And I think Jonathan Hankins was surprised by that. So now, of course, yes, probably the guy he worked with had some connection to the Dallas Cowboys in some shape, form, or fashion, the coach he was working with. So from that point, he was picked up. I think he was drafted by the Birmingham Stallions 2 years ago, led the USFL in scoring, which is, of course, with kicks, basically. In 2022, he's currently number 3 in the USFL right now in Plano, Texas. Again, he's a native from there. He's new to football, but between the USFL, the MLS, Notre Dame, I mean, it's a big spotlight there. He has a lot of experience under the bright lights of high-level sports. So hopefully that's enough. I'm hoping... I don't know, who knows? I got to see this shit, right? But I'm hoping that's enough for him to be ice water in his veins, not be swayed from anything under 50 yards. This guy should make every single fucking one. And that's all I want to see. And I'll talk about the good, bad, and ugly to this in a minute.
The good thing is it sounds like when it comes to a lot of the, outside of the on-the-field football stuff, it sounds like he at least is with it, already kind of knows what to expect and stuff. Like you said, he's already been in a professional...
Yeah, in a major
stuff, so
major spotlights,
And obviously, nothing compares to Dallas. We know that,
but he's from Dallas. He's practiced in Dallas. I mean, he's practiced right here. So I think this guy has no pun intended, but a leg up on the bright lights of Dallas. Let's put it that way. Now, as far as playing in the NFL, it's professional sports. We'll see, but let me go into what he can do for us or not do for us. The good, bad, and ugly. So
what's his leg like?
His range. Accuracy-wise, not accuracy, but the range distance-wise. When you compare it to Brett Maher, it's not a comparison. Brett Maher can hit him from 60 yards and farther sometimes, but not, I guess not farther, but he came from 55, 60 yards. Maher can hit him from deep. Strong leg from Maher. Not the case with Aubrey. His longest in his career is 49 yards.
Oh.
So keep that in mind, guys. The part that's the bad part. Now, I don't know about, the other thing about this I want to think about is, what about kickoffs? Because every kickoff, when you want to knock it out of the back of the end zone, but if this guy can't get out of the end zone, that was supposedly the reason why they kept Maher last year. Remember? So, over the accuracy. That's what McCarthy said.
Point.
So now this year, let's see. They're going with accuracy over the leg. What's the solution? They're going to allow a lot of returns. They're going to get back to the 35-yard line. That's not good. So that's a 15-yard difference. They're kicking out of the end zone. So, or I guess 25-yard line now. But my point is,
the point still stands. That's like a whole first down that you lost. Either way,
yeah, you want to make sure that this guy can knock the ball far enough. Not many returns, but again, we know that's the case with Maher. That's not the case with Aubrey. Now, what's the good part about Aubrey? Because, again, we worry about kickoffs, but I worry more about making the fucking field goal. And we talked about the ice water style of kind of, he's already had some previews there on that, but his consistency is something that is not something that Maher can do. Maher is very inconsistent, as we know. Last year was not bad. When it counted in the playoffs, the guy couldn't hit a goddamn stick. I mean, he couldn't knock one through there from 25 yards out. So, Maher is not to be relied upon. Now, this guy can be relied upon, at least in his career so far. He's been relied upon to be extremely accurate and consistent. That's the good thing there when it's within 50 yards. So, his consistency is a very attractive trait for the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys may be trying to prioritize stability, consistency. You know what I mean? Like, that's the priority for the Cowboys this year, I think, at kicker. Now, I'm going to go a little more context here, but...
Yeah, it seems like our philosophy as far as, like, what we wanted in kicker, we're kind of going the opposite direction here. Like, obviously, still the number one consistent thing is, you know... Making it. But outside of that, yeah, very different to go from... It felt like a power kicker, so to speak, you know, like Maher with all the juice and none of the finesse, you know, now to this guy here who obviously, again, like you just said, doesn't exactly have the power, but does have the kind of consistency, I think,
the accuracy
that we're
from
looking
within 50,
for more so than all these other things. And that's the main factor that leads me to believe that is what the Cowboys are after. They're not necessarily looking for the best kicker. What they are looking for is the most consistent kicker. So we'll have to see if, fingers crossed, that pays off. And that's... Again, I will refrain from giving all of my thoughts for now because I know we still have a few other things to touch on there. But I still would rather the Cowboys try to bring in some kind of veteran help. But I guess that's just me. B-Bird, what's up? Much love.
B-Bird in the house. What's up? Hey, I see, it's been a while for a big Mr. B-Bird. What did the man say?
B-Bird
$2 holler.
With the new KO rules.
Kickoff?
There we go. Sorry. With the new kickoff rules, having a big leg won't matter.
I mean, again, it's just...
Basically, you can get away with not having as much
The rule
power.
Wasn't the rule last year it goes to the 25? Unless it's a punt, it goes to the 20. This year, both of them going to the 25. Punting-wise, I would agree. It's not really you just punt it out. But now, kickoffs, that's the thing, though. If you get a return, if you get the ball and you get it on the 5, most teams might want to just take a knee. You take it right to the 25 now. But if you can take it out, I don't know. I think that most teams are not going to have an opportunity to do that too often. I just hope that his shorter kickoffs are not going to give the other team much better field position. That would be a disappointment on the situation.
I agree. So Mike Aldana said, no PKing yips.
Yeah, no. I'm assuming that's place kicking, but no yipping anymore from freaking Maher style. And Maher missed them from close. That's the thing.
We are not a rehab center for broken kickers. So as much as I, would want to see us maybe, like I said, make a slightly different move at kicker, I do understand why the Cowboys made this move. I do think it's, as of now, a slight improvement over what we have going on. So, but that's, I don't know.
Well, so far you've said a lot of good things. I'm going to add to a couple good. I'm going to tell you guys why I think this is actually not the worst move in the world. I am still with you. Get a veteran kicker in here. Let all three guys kick it out and see who wins it. But I'll get to the reason why it's not horrible if this guy wins the job. Now, this kicker from the Birmingham Stallions in the USFL, of course, like I mentioned, very reliable when he was turned to. Other than his not so powerful leg is the fact that he wasn't used that much by Birmingham. He hit 9 of his 10 field goal attempts. I think that was in the beginning of the season, and at that point there were only 3 kickers in the USFL. One of which was actually a punter, I think Aguilar, and another one was not even on the team anymore by this point of the season in the USFL. That had fewer attempts than him. So really, only 2 guys or 3 guys were lower than him on attempts for most of the season. So again, that's one of the knocks on him. He's not been used as much as maybe you want to see in a bigger sample size. He doesn't seem to have a strong leg. Like I said, guys, a career long, 2 years, 49 yards. B-Bird with that $1-2 J. Lou holler. B-Bird moving on up the board. And the wife is coming here in a minute to hit up the comment. Baby, what did B-Bird have to say with another $2 holler and moving on up?
He said, teams in the Cowboys position get proven kickers. So, and
that's why you got Crosby and
it is
Gold
a little bit, just a little frustrating, I think is the word. Like I said, we play
games there.
Relatively confident that I'm sure he's going to be accurate, right? Like I said, at least the one thing that I think Aubrey can at least handle is accuracy, right? So for anything 45 and inside, he's probably going to be very Dan Bailey-esque automatic, right? He's going to be in this, right? Expectation is that he's going to make it, he's going to do it. Okay, great. I do appreciate what that could mean as far as the way that we choose to run our offense, right? But I still would very much rather see the Cowboys spend that tiny little bit of extra capital to bring in someone that we know will be able to do the job, right? Like right now, Aubrey, I'm saying I think he can do the job. I'd rather go with someone we know can do the job.
And
maybe it's just me.
I agree with you on that. We know, though, this was the path for the Cowboys. We knew this. Now, maybe they're thinking they'll take one of the leftover veterans in an emergency situation in training camp. Like, they'll wait for the veteran guy if these two guys shit the bed, which they very well might. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So, finishing up here, baby. And by the way, 10 points for Jason Renfro hanging on that stream boss right now. So, again, not a strong leg, 49. I'm going to go back to that in a minute, but let me just finish just overall. Of course, Texas native, soccer star in the MLS Super Draft. He was a first-round pick, by the way, in MLS, in the soccer league there. And he also played 2 seasons in the United States Soccer League. Oh, I'm sorry, well, I guess that's the same league. But the point is that this USFL was his first attempt in football. So in 2 years, this guy's on the map already. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a rush thing. Like you said, I'd rather have somebody reliable. Now, let me just finish this real quick here. Just to finish his style, his skill ability, and I'm going to tell you what I think about this before we hit up the chat and finish with this discussion. Because kicker, very important, but there's only so much you can say about the kicker right now, especially not seeing him even kick in the NFL yet.
Exactly.
So
we have to see him kick before we continue.
Right. He's done great in the USFL, but I don't even look at that. There's nobody in the crowd. I mean, it's a whole different world. So here's the thing, baby. Highly accurate, making all 24 of his extra points this year. And the Stallions didn't even want to really get rid of him, but they knew that the NFL would probably be picking at him. We got Mike Aldana back in the membership. You know why? Because the man that stays skeptical dropped a membership gift, adding to his lead, and man, he is the man. For the last couple of weeks here on this side of things, when it comes to the gifting membership, for the last couple of months for the membership stuff, man. Woo.
Staying skeptical about our Cowboys is one thing, but staying skeptical about Skeptical Fan, that's where you're wrong, guys. Yeah. You know it. Thank you, Skeptical Fan. Huge shout out to you. Much love. Yes. And yes, that is another additional gifted membership there. Obviously, we'll factor that into the numbers here. Mike Aldana, drop them if he got them.
Yeah, the membership, of course. I'm sorry, not membership, but the membership too. But a little bit more towards another raffle entry there for Skeptical Fan. And again, he's moving up the board as he always does. The man. I think he makes a jump here or two. So I'm going to double check that.
Okay.
Skeptical, much love. Jason still at 10 points on the stream boss.
So Burn Bar, Robbie Gould is still available. He has not been signed. Although I can't remember off the top of my head if it was him or Crosby that had the injury issues.
It was Robbie Gould he missed about 10 games the last 2 seasons. So that's the inconsistency with him, and he's 40 years old. Mason Crosby's 38 years old, but he has a connection with Mike McCarthy. It just sounds like maybe, it's just more about money maybe. I don't know. But those 2 guys are the top of the list kind of guys there. And
honestly, I feel like it kind of has to be about money. Again,
it's
we're
weird.
Talking about a difference
I've gone back and
maybe
forth on that.
$1 million at the most.
$1 million enough to save it for and roll it over at worst for Mr. Steve Jones and Jera. But
yeah, it's definitely weird.
Yeah, now much love once again, Skeptical. Appreciate you updated the board. He's got 9 for the month, 9 on it. So just to finish, okay, the Stallions, the USFL Birmingham Stallions, they didn't see him as a finished product yet. They were thinking he's just going to keep getting better. They really wanted, of course, to try to retain him, but now he's in Dallas officially. And I want to make one thing clear. He only missed one field goal, and it was from farther than 50 yards.
Okay.
He was perfect 14 for 14 in field goals from 49 yards and closer. Everything inside 49 yards, he knocked through. So, again, point afters, all 35 point after kicks after the touchdown, all of them he made, all 35. So the accuracy from 49 yards and closer is a big help there. I think the Cowboys are willing to sacrifice some distance for consistency. And let me tell you why this kind of leads me exactly to where I kind of...
I was going to say, that's a very different scenario than... our usual ones that we find ourselves in, where it was, the Maharatis trying to kick 60-yard fucking field goals.
And that's my thing. So let me explain to you guys why I believe this is a good move. At least to add him to if he wins the kicking competition and he's the solid kicker, it's a good move. Why? Now, let me repeat this. I want Mason Crosby in there battling this guy. I want Robbie Gould in there or whoever, one of these veteran guys. But that would be my number one situation. I don't mind bringing a guy that has an upside. Now, if the Cowboys cannot count on him for a long field goal from 55 yards or 59 yards or 56 yards, that's a good fucking thing, Cowboy fans. Brett Maher, although can hit the long ones. Listen, I know he won the LA Charger one was a 50-something. Oh, that was Zerline. But last year he hit one, I think, was it against the Bengals? Look, what I'm trying to say is, we know Maher can hit him from Kingdom Come. We know he'll hit him, but we know once he gets to 45 yards, it's like we got to hold our breath every single time. And 45 yards and closer, he's missed them from 30-something yards multiple times. He's very inconsistent. So
yeah, and in very, I have to say,
dramatic fashion.
Some of the worst misses that I personally have ever remembered seeing. So,
especially that playoff game,
dramatic,
horrible. So look, the point here is the Cowboys now, Mike McCarthy. If you don't have a kicker that can hit it from 55 yards with confidence, you're going to do two things. Punt the ball and try to get him into, very bad field position, which I said is one of that's actually helps your defense more than running the ball all game and trying to rest your defense. So just so you guys know, better field position and putting them inside the 10 helps out the defense more than running the ball all the time to run clock. So when you factor that in, your decision there at that point is, okay, you're a 57-yarder for a field goal. You can try to go, you can kick the 57-yarder with this guy, which would be stupid. So you punt the ball, help your defense. That's option one. Option two, you now go for it. It's 4th down and 3. Instead of kicking the fucking 57-yard field goal with Maher, you're going for it. And that, to me, I know it hurts the defense a little bit. You can punt it or you can go for it. You know what? We might have a kind of offense, the quick-hitting offense that's hard to read, bring out some interesting plays from McCarthy in a West Coast fast-paced offense that I think that could help the Cowboys maybe be more efficient even in offense and maybe take advantage of that 4th down analytic, so to speak. We know that it's 4th down, going for all, supposedly, analytically speaking, using all 4 downs is a smart move. So we shall see if that's utilized more. We know McCarthy loves the analytics. So you guys feel the picture I'm painting? Now here's that's just 2 options you get there. You don't waste, you give up horrible field position. Listen, even if you go for it and miss it, they're still at the 40, they're on their own 45-yard line or their own 40-yard line. Okay.
Not to make a point for or against either. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I was going to say one last thing that. No, I'm off now. But the thing is that if you're going for it, you're giving the ball on the 40-yard line. Let's say, okay, on your own 40. It's not great, but if you're kicking a field goal, you got to add 7 more yards to that, and now you're on the 50-yard line. It's a whole different kind of feel already. They're already on our side of the field almost. So to me, punting the ball, going for it, those 2 things are better than kicking a field goal and shanking it and missing it. Yeah, Maher, you made it once every 3 times, but then you give up the ball in bad field position. So no matter how you do it, it's better field position, and there's a chance to continue the drive using a kicker that can't kick it from deep. And when you get close enough, and it's 4th and 12 or 4th and 7, you just need the points. You don't got to freaking sit there and pray every 5 seconds that Maher can make it from 43 yards. This guy should knock these fuckers through. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Go ahead, baby. You take over. Give me your 2 cents on it.
The one thing I was going to say is one of the only things that does seem like a positive to me, right? Like I said, it's nothing against this guy personally or anything like that, but one positive about Aubrey is the way that I think he actually really fits into what I'm assuming is McCarthy's scheme. And the reason I say assuming is because obviously you still haven't quite seen all of it yet, so we have to make a few assumptions here, but I actually think that Aubrey fits a little bit more than a guy like Maher, because yeah, McCarthy is a more aggressive coach. He's not necessarily afraid of going for it or whatever, but when you consider the field positions that we're kind of talking about, right? So if we're in a position where we're kicking a 50-plus yard field goal, you know, I would prefer it that McCarthy maybe didn't take certain risks, and I think that having a guy like Aubrey basically takes that choice out of your hand. You're not going to take that risk knowing you're going to basically never make it, right? Like, it just completely changes what your options are. So if going, or if at least kicking the field goal is not an option, if you're at 55 yards away or 50 yards away or whatever, then, well, like you said, now you have to consider, do you use all 4 downs to try and offensively, move the chains,
or do you
and
punt to get better field position? Yeah, I mean, look.
So, which again, with our defense, that's what I'm trying to say. So to me, it actually, I think, fits some of the McCarthy game plans that we've seen. Because honestly, when it came to kind of going for it or taking certain chances, McCarthy tended to go for it on 4th down more than he tended to try and rely on the kicker. And then once we got to the situations where he did end up just kind of giving up and saying, like, fuck it, just let's go for it.
Kick it.
I think there is a lot of other extenuating circumstances that went into it, including some of our O-line shenanigans that I think played their own part there. So I'm just throwing it out there that as much as I still would like to see a veteran in here, I do see the upsides to Aubrey in that sense.
And agree. Look. We got to look at the upsides. Like, we have no choice. But here's the thing. Now, the guy can shank a bunch of kicks. We have Garibay. Now we're fucked all day. Now we're fucked. So we got to bring in someone like Mason Crosby, Matt Prater, Ryan Suckup, freaking Robbie Gold, I guess. I'm just trying to say, like, you can bring in that's what I think the Cowboys' perspective is. They're going to go this route for now. And if they don't work out, we got still a bunch of them. A bunch of veteran kickers that they can choose from and pick the $1 million guy, So, look. Let me say one last thing.
Thomas Garrett, the superior Garrett in the house, by the way.
I do want to say one last thing about this situation. If you have McCarthy and you're again, I know you're right, and especially in his first year, he was going for it a lot more on that 4th down. I think this would definitely make his mind up. But here's where the only way he would hurt us, this kicker. Aubrey would hurt us in the last second kick to win the game, tie the game from 55 yards. There's no choice now. Right? You got to kick a 55-yarder. Can Brandon Aubrey make that? We're not talking consistency. Now we need the leg. And so that is key there. Now, wouldn't it be funny if the Cowboys keep Brett Maher on the, on the practice squad and then bring him up for the games on game day? I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. Maybe it sticks. But what I'm trying to say is, you get a guy that does kickoffs and does those 60-yard game winners. That's Maher. And you got this guy, and I don't think the Cowboys should use their 53-man roster spot on 2 kickers. But maybe there's a way of stashing a Maher and bringing him up for game day. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. But when you need that last-second kick, if it's a playoff game, are we going to kick the 54-yard field goal attempt? Or are we going to go for the 4th and 8? What are you going to do? In a playoff game when it's all or nothing.
Or even, Maher, like you said, on the flip side of it, what if you are in a playoff game and you're in a position where, like you said, that choice has been taken away from you and you have to kick. That is your only option, but now you're in a 55
now you don't have Maher. Situation. You got to go at Aubrey. What are you going to do? You're going to let him probably not make this one, or you're going to go for the first down. And it could be not 4th and 2 or 3. It could be a 4th and 8 or 9. You kind of don't want to go for that, but you got no choice to either go for that or take the horribly long kick for somebody who's not going to make it. Consistently, we'll miss that from 55 and 54 and 56. Yeah. So I'm just throwing it out there. I'm going through all possibilities, good, bad, ugly.
Micah, not throwing out there, by the way. Mike McCarthy will be using his analytics people on the percentage of field goals.
I agree with that. I think, and when you got a kicker like this guy, who's not a strong leg, a lot more 4th downs is what I'm smelling. If this guy is the winner of the kicking battle, let's put it that way. If he's not, then we better be going with Crosby or Gold or someone like this to battle the rest of the training camp about that, So we're going to be shitting the bed with the kicker is going to, with somebody who might miss, kicks from a lot more erratically and inconsistently.
Yes. So, no, I think we kind of touched on most of that real quick. Although Rolando Rodriguez would say, why is a kicker not talked about on any other teams? Because they have won. The only Cowboys clown show. It's so upsetting. Just go sign a veteran kicker already.
All I'm going to end it with this. This guy might be the great player. I don't know. Maybe he fits Mike McCarthy's style. In the end, baby, why not sign a Mason Crosby, Robbie Gold, a lot of the guys out there I mentioned, sign one of these veteran guys and let them battle. That's it. And that's how important the kicker can be. It could make or break your season. So bring in a veteran, bring in a new guy from the USFL, bring in I guess you already have a Tristan Vizcaíno who's crap. Bring all these 3 guys and let them battle it out. Why are we going with the crappy guy and the unknown guy? That tells me it's a lose-lose situation, possibly. At least you get a solid veteran in there, and he loses to a young guy like Aubrey. Cool. Then we can go with Aubrey and go with that strong. That's what scares me. That's the issue to me. But look, I think we discussed this till we're blue in the face, baby. I think that unless there's no other comments,
the only other thing we can do is sit here, wait till camp, and see what Aubrey can do.
Yeah. He'll be in the battle with Tristan Vizcaíno.
Maybe there's a way that we can help him get better and add more power and get closer to making more 50-plus yard field goals.
Well, that would have to be somebody not named Aubrey, I'm assuming. You don't want to, you don't want to put the extra.
I know.
If you're going to start relying on that, that's going to get probably a little ugly. I don't want to do that. So we're done with the kicker spot. It's going to be a battle for that spot. Now, baby, real quick, 3 quick little last things, and they're really quick, but let me hit them up real quick, one at a time. Micah Parsons, guys. Much love to him. I mean, we talked about that for July 4th party he was at.
He was at his the all-white 4th of July bash there.
With a millionaire, with a lot of, A-plus celebrities. Here you see what he's doing when he's A-plus playing on that football field, and Micah Parsons dominating and wrecking opposing offenses. But today, again, he literally after the party, baby, to maintain this style of dominance, he also, of course, was busting ass working out. That was yesterday. Today, he continued his workout, guys. Let me explain. This is kind of cool here. Little Malcolm Parsons, Micah Parsons' son, doing the same drills as Micah is. Micah's going to show you how to do it.
You got to start him young.
Look at Micah. I mean, he's got that footwork. He's ready. Now, but look at little man here. He's working out with them, too. And, doing the arm, the weights there, now, after all that, he's passed out in the car. So if you look at this, there's the little boy there doing his thing, Malcolm Parsons. Micah Parsons' son, and Micah doing it the dominant way, the right way. But hey, you know what? There's some speed in those feet from Micah. Now here, again, love to see it. At the end of this, again, Micah said, quote, he might not be built for it yet. As you can see, his son passed out in the car.
To that endurance, right?
Yeah, but hey, he's getting there. He's not bad. He's pretty agile for, a 4-year-old, 5-year-old? I don't know. He's pretty agile there. Nothing compares to his dad, though. The Lion, Micah Parsons. Love to see it. I just wanted to bring that up.
He's still a little cub, so
yeah, that's right. He's growing, and and that's the thing here, though. I think you got to say this again, Micah Parsons. It's really the overall. It's cute, right, and all that fun stuff. But the reality here, Micah never stops working, guys. I mean, he was working yesterday after the party. He was working today with his son. It don't matter who's around and what time of the year it is. The one thing Micah's doing is football, evolution in himself, and I love to fucking see it. I want to see more of it. And K. James also wants to see more of that. K. James 143, welcome to the family.
Thank you for subbing it up.
Yes, appreciate you. Go Cowboys. You know the deal. So that was awesome to see. I thought it was kind of cute, but more importantly, I think it's just about Micah Parsons, just nonstop passion for perfection. That's why he's where he's at now. Let me give you a look. That was 2 years ago. Our first round pick was Micah Parsons. Last year's first round pick, I got to speak on him too, baby. His name is none other than Tyler Smith. Now, baby, Tyler Smith, you've seen him doing a lot of things out there. Just even the last couple of weeks since the Cowboys have been, out of minicamp, out of OTAs. You've seen Tyler Smith doing a lot of stuff out there with the O-line, with the Von Miller camp, and kind of just the players learning from each other. I mean, Tyler Smith was there, working with Von Miller, figuring out all the moves of defensive pass rush. He was there with DeMarcus Ware, just some of the legends, some of the greats, some of the best right now in the game, just picking up stuff. I love to see Tyler Smith just being involved in this. It wasn't even for the offensive lineman. It was our defensive lineman. And he was involved in this. I love it. I love it. I love it. This man's work ethic is underrated. No one's even talking about it. And today, it continued today. Now, Brian Baldinger was at an offensive line kind of convention with Big Duke. You guys know who that is. Duke Manyweather. So, again, we know that Manyweather is working with Terrence Steele. Now, again, he's been working with Tyler Smith. We knew this. Check this out for a second here. You're seeing Tyler Smith in the black shirt. On the other side, you're seeing Eric McCoy from the Saints. This is a drill. Elbows in tight. Feet in the ground. Push and pull. This is what they're learning here at this, at this Duke Manyweather. And you can see him here doing it. I mean, this is about both sides kind of figuring it out. You can get the feel of what the defensive player is doing. In Tyler Smith's point right now, you can, the offensive lineman doing a good job there. Eric McCoy. I love to see it, guys. And there's Tyler Smith. I mean, he's working. He's also doing that, the offensive, blocking side of the drill. These are things that are known to help offensive linemen in multiple ways. So, again, these are one of the things you got to love about Tyler Smith. Always trying to get better. What does that mean to me? That means an elite work ethic. Like you just saw with Micah Parsons, right? We saw Micah Parsons out there. He's always working. He could be a little hungover from the night before that July 4th party, but he's busting ass, doing weights, doing cardio, doing everything.
Tyler Smith, not to somehow same thing. Say this is like all Dak or whatever. But again, I do think that Dak's mentality changed a lot of the way that some of our players internally approach things, right? Because Dak puts in that work 110% and does push others to do the same. Micah already, like you said, Micah naturally was always going to be this type of person, right? So I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just saying that you see
how it adds to
different people on this team doing these things, and you notice the effect it has because Micah doing this does elevate those around him the same way that Dak being that type of leader elevates those around him as well. But for someone like Micah who's already just...
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying,
someone like Micah, with his work ethic showing out. I mean, you do know this here on the screen is Tyler Smith busting ass. And I think that this is not just contagious, like you said, about Dak and Micah Parsons, but I think it's also something about Tyler Smith and his work ethic from the day he came in, learning from Tyron Smith, learning from Jason Peters. And you can see him this year just wanting to continue to elevate his game.
Tyler Smith is going to be the O-line guy. Who's who does it like that? We
talked about it yesterday. He's turned heads in the Cowboys front office, and they were loving the pick back then when nobody was really loving the pick. And all this has done is just reinstilled to the Cowboy front office. This guy, Tyler Smith, is going to be here for his career. He's going to be here for his entire, kind of like a Tyron Smith, a Zach Martin, a Travis Frederick who would have been around.
Would you say there's been a slight culture shift in that direction?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think Cowboys always love their offensive linemen.
No, I'm just talking about more about like I said, the general elevation of everyone seeming to just put in a little bit more extra effort, more extra work. Like maybe it's also just we're in the social media era, so we're able to see more of that. I mean,
that's always part of it, but I also think I think Dak inspires that, and he's always kind of had that effect on the team for years. Micah came in, he was already going to do that. He's doing it on the defensive side, and I think that if Dak wasn't doing that, guess who would still do it? Micah Parsons would still do it. I'm sure Tyler Smith would still do it. But to me, it's more about the fact that your quarterback's doing it, then everybody's got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got to put in and match that effort, and it just makes everyone better. It makes them try even harder, maybe. Deep down inside, they don't even realize it, possibly. But I just love...
It might not be a conscious decision to necessarily try harder. It's just something that happens because you're feeling that pressure subconsciously around you.
Yeah, Tyler Smith being around all these great defensive players and offensive players on his own team here with the Cowboys, but also
makes you want to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, being there with Von Miller, going to these camps, doing this another offensive line mastermind camp. I'm just saying, these things will help. I talked about it the other day, this thing happening in Dallas. There's going to be another camp coming out next week. You think Tyler Smith, I said it yesterday, Tyler Smith's going to be there. He was at this one too with the Duke Manyweather crew here. So I fucking love it. I think we're underestimating how good Tyler Smith is.
Manyweather, but sure.
Well, he's been at the Cowboy front office, but he don't want to work for the Cowboy. He wants his own independent thing. Here's what I'm trying to say, though. Tyler Smith, I just keep seeing this guy as being, again, I'm more and more, every day, I'm more and more impressed by what Tyler Smith is doing. You know, I can't even say off the field because he's always on the field like Micah, like Dak. I fucking love it. Tyler Smith is a mainstay, I think, in Dallas for a decade. And I'm hoping that he just continues doing what he's doing now because right now he is still raw. Sky's the limit for this guy. And he's a left guard, left tackle dominator. Top 15 on both sides, a top 10. Top 10 in one position, a top 5 in the other. I'm sorry, top 15 at the guard, a top 10 in the tackle spot. He's getting rave reviews across the board. I'm just telling you guys, Tyler Smith is ready to continue evolving and taking his game to the next level. And these kind of things, I know it's just, okay, who cares to work out? Nah, no one's asking him. No one's like saying, please do these things. He's saying, I'm doing them. I got to do them. I want to do them. And I want to get elite. I want to be the best. Hey, remember we drafted him? He said himself, he remembers watching the Cowboy, the Great Wall of the Cowboys, and that was one of his dreams, was to be part of it. Now his dream is here. All he's got to do is be part of that Great Wall, and he will get paid forever. He'll be a Cowboy forever, and his dream will come through. Hopefully, with all of that, we also get a Super Bowl ring, or 2 or 3, but we'll see.
Well, I'll start with 1 and go from
Number 73 shows incredible work ethic, and it shows in his game. Showed last year in the offseason, showed this year in the offseason, and it should show. Of course, it showed the whole year in the season last year, but hopefully it's going to just be better this year. I love it. I don't any quick comments in the chat about Tyler Smith or anything related to this?
Dip. What's up? Much love.
Yeah, in the house.
Saying Tyler definitely underrated. He's so athletic for his type of position.
Yes, and the fact that he can be a mauler and he's getting better every day as a pass protector. I mean, come on. This guy is just going to get better. Everyone's going to kick themselves for not taking him earlier. And remember, we were mad about him taking it. You know, I was happier when we were going to use him at guard, but when he played tackle last year and it's such a quick turnaround, and he's just so dominant about it with some great minds around him, like Peters and, of course, Tyron Smith. The guy soaked it all up, absorbed it, and now he is truly... Guys, after this year, he'll be a guy everyone was talking about. In the sense of, like, I wish we would have drafted him. How did the Cowboys get him? Maybe even a fucking Pro Bowler. I said it. We'll see. Well, I'm going to knock on wood on that.
Now, Mike Aldana said, why don't we resurrect Nick Folk or any other from the Cowboys PK?
Hey, I've been talking about Nick Folk for a little bit. Why not bring him in here? I mean, he's an older veteran. We know him. I would give him a shot. Suckup, Prater, Crosby, Gold. There's still 4 or 5 other guys on top of that, including Maher. So I'm saying, like, this is not over, I think, with kicker, is my point. I think we're going to get another kicker in the house here. I'm hoping a veteran kicker and let them all battle it out. Let the best kicker kick ass and win. Anyways.
There you go. Let me see. I think we touched on the rest of the comments.
So Tyler Smith, we got him there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know I did. So the final thing of today, and it's, I know some people will be like, yeah, she's right. Some people are going to be like, she's crazy. Let me talk about Dak Prescott here for a minute, baby. And, of course, we know what Dak has done. Good and bad and ugly. I think he's the most, split kind of, player you can deal with in the NFL right now when it comes to even our own fan base here. But today on a TV show, they want to get clicks and all that, and they got some attention from us, I guess, here. Speak on FS1, all right? Speak is a show on FS1. And, they have the usual cast of characters there. The one Philly guy, the Philly sympathizer. They got Emmanuel Acho, who used to be a Cowboy guy. Now he's like anti-Dak Prescott, anti-Cowboys. They used to have Hellman on there. They rotate the people. And, of course, the host of the show, the main host there, Joy Taylor. Now, I don't know if you guys know Joy. She's been on there forever and doing that. And she says something kind of silly, in my opinion. But she said basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, she needs to see a miracle from Dak Prescott this year to believe that he's a guy that can win a Super Bowl. She said, we need to see a miracle. She said, quote, Dak isn't talented enough to get to an NFC championship game. Wow. Now,
that's harsh.
I'm gonna be real though. I think obviously you and I know what's gonna happen when Dak gets the Cowboys, and I say Dak, I mean the entire team. It's not just on Dak. When the Cowboys get, and I'm hoping they will, this year, next year, every year, they get to that NFC Conference Championship, they're going to say it was the defense. It was not Dak. That's what and he can have a great game. They will still say that. You guys know this on the other side of the microphone. We know that's always moving the goalpost. That's what's going to happen. So, because it gets clicks, it gets views. Hating on the Cowboys, Stephen A. Smith knows the deal. And Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, they are second-rate crew. They do the same shit. So, look, we know it's just to kind of spark conversation and get clicks and views. You and I all know that. We have a literal breakdown of all 17 interceptions from the Dallas Cowboys from Dak Prescott's hands last year. And when you look at them all, you can sit there and scream and cry and hate Dak Prescott. Look in the mirror, look at yourself. If you think that they're all on Dak, you're on hallucinogens. So you need to now, take a look at every interception and truly, let's be real about it. Sometimes it's Dak, sometimes it's the receiver, sometimes it's the play call, sometimes it's a good defensive play. Either way, 17 are not on Dak. You guys know it, we know it, everyone knows it. So, and this is an easy kind of talking point because the team, now, even though Dak, to me, was more responsible than usual the last two losses against the Niners, does that mean he's the one that was only at fault? Was he the major issue there? We know it was more the play calling. That affected Dak. That affected the offensive line. That affected the receivers. The play calling, the system, the scheme, Kellen Moore. He's gone. I expect a whole different scheme, offense, in the sense of the way it's going to work. And Dak Prescott, I believe, even a little better. That's all we need. From Dak this year, a little less interceptions, and a little, that's going to make him a little better. That's going to be enough to take, I think, with our defense, with our coaching, with our offense, I think that takes us to the conference championship. That's my expectation, and beyond that, to be honest, we got to see how the season plays out. We know the 12-5 seasons, and that don't mean shit if you can't win in the playoffs. But I do think that Dak Prescott has more than enough on his own plate to be able to take us with the right guys. We got in Brandon Cooks with a right shift in scheme. We got McCarthy over Kellen Moore. We got Brandon Cooks as a player over Noah fucking Brown. Come on now. And when you put that in there with even a better defense, added pieces of the defense, and again, the biggest issue to me now is maybe special teams. And still I want to see how the kicker thing goes. But that guards position, McCarthy has a plan to get around this and through this. This will make, I think, our offense, just because of these few changes, already better than last year. And just on that, the team is better. Dak will be better. It just makes sense. 1 + 1 = 2. So when I break it down, let me just give you a couple more interesting little, I should say big statistics here. The best interception percentage? The best interception percentage in NFL history. Aaron Rodgers, 1.4% of the time, he threw an interception. Okay? He's number one in the league.
Not surprised that it's Rodgers.
Jacoby Brissett and Patrick Mahomes, Tyrod Taylor, Tom Brady tied for 5th with Kaepernick. Justin Herbert also there, tied for 5th, 1.8%. Then you had Russell Wilson at 8, 1.9%. And then at 2% of the time, it's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's the 9th best in history. The 9th best at not throwing interceptions.
At least we're on the right side of this stat.
I'm saying, but even with the shitty year last year, even with the mistakes by the receivers, the play call from Dak, you know what I'm saying? Even all those mistakes, still. Imagine if he didn't have such a bad year. Let's just put it on his fault, on the play calling, on everyone's fault. Let's say it wasn't that bad. My goodness, he would be maybe number 1 on this list for all I know. My point is, 2% of the time he's throwing in interceptions. That's the 9th best in NFL history. Any quarterback ever. So I'm just saying, those are the little things you got to kind of, you can see him throw a game he has 2 picks, and it's like it hurts. But generally, he does not throw interceptions. Generally, Dak is not an interception throwing machine like he was last year. Well, he was told, and we know this, to be aggressive, throw it in tight windows. In a predictable scheme, it means more picks. It's simple. So again, let me do this formula for you guys. 1 + 1 = 2. So the last thing I want to say, and I've mentioned the stuff about, Dak Prescott getting those first downs, like when it comes to to third down and longer than 5, Dak Prescott is only behind Mahomes. Mahomes is at 44% of the time on a 3rd and 5 or greater. He makes the first down 44% of the time. That's number 1 in the NFL for Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott on 3rd down and 5 or greater, 43% of the time Dak makes the first down. So what I'm trying to let you all know, basic facts here, that Dak Prescott is a pretty damn solid quarterback on 3rd down, even though, and let's be real, he had a lot more difficult, a lot bigger 3rd and 8s and 12s and 16s than Patrick Mahomes had. And he still was just 1% behind Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean this by first down failures. We were one of the worst last year. One of the worst last year and first downs, putting us in bad situations for 2nd and 3rd down. It showed. By the way, very nice to see D-Nice, part of the family here with us.
Thank you for joining us and subbing it up.
Yes. Here. New subscriber, old and new. Welcome. Appreciate all of you. Thank you, guys. So, again, that's just another stat there. Shows you how good Dak really is when you look past the stuff that maybe was clouded with some other bad shit like bad routes devised and run by Kellen Moore and the receivers, bad game plan by Kellen Moore, offensive line issues that Dak had to make shit happen almost all the time. He was one of the guys that broke one of the most broken tackles, escaping sacks last year, 28th ranked pass blocking offensive line last year. Just saying, like, Dak had to get out of sack. He was not sacked that much for the broken down offensive line. So, again, I'm not giving excuses. I'm giving facts. Dak had to make shit happen. It's off his hand. Bad decision. Yeah, it's on Dak. But there's other circumstances around that when you put into context, some of these 3rd and 5s compared to Mahomes, yeah, Mahomes 1% better. But Dak had a much harder road on 3rd downs than Mahomes. So, all these facts just, again, I'm not even saying like Dak's the best ever. I'm just saying Dak ain't as bad as people are saying, whether it's Cowboy fans or scumbags like Stephen A. Smith or Joy Taylor. And I don't care if she's a man, woman, or child. You talk shit, you got to deal with it. So the thing is this. When you look at this last little stat here, the most consecutive seasons a team in the NFL has averaged 30 points per game or more. Since 1950, guys, Dak Prescott is one of these few names on this list. Dak Prescott in 2020, 2021, and 2022. All right? That's 3 seasons. Drew Brees in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Peyton Manning in 2012, 2013, and 2014. Tom Brady in 2010, 11, and 12. Kurt Warner, also the last guy on the list, 1999, 2000, and 2001. What does this mean? Out of all 5 of these guys, they're all going to be they're all Hall of Famers except for Dak Prescott on this list. Now, Drew Brees, a future Hall of Famer, right? Right.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, a future Hall of Famer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Peyton Manning in the Hall of Fame. Kurt Warner in the Hall of Fame. That's the 4 guys, and then there's Dak. Now, I know it's a team, so it's not just on Dak. It's the team. It's Kellen Moore's offense against shitty teams that pump up these numbers. Still, not anyone can just do this. You just can't throw in there Trent Dilfer, and then he can do the same thing Dak would have done in this same scenario and situation. Dak made these things happen as well. So, Dak to even be mentioned in this group is incredible. Like I said, also, 57 yards for Dak in his next 3 games this season. He's going to get to only be in a place that only Aaron Rodgers has ever done, which means throwing for over 25,000 combined yards. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Throwing and running for a combined, I think 25,000 passing yards, and I think it has to be 1,500 rushing yards. Only Aaron Rodgers has done that, and Dak has a chance to do that in the next, if he gets 57 yards in the next 3 games. In the Mike McCarthy offense, he's going to break the pocket a little bit, maybe use that dual threat we discussed last night here in My Cowboys Family. I mean, listen, last year in this game against the Bucs, Dak tore apart Tom Brady. How can you say, Joy Taylor also but said Dak has just done the same thing as Kirk Cousins. That's not true. Kirk Cousins won 1 game, really not to do with him too much. When you see what Dak has done, he's overcome a run defense that was broken down against the Rams when we lost that game. He overcame and defeated a team led by Russell Wilson. Overcame and defeated a team led by Tom Brady. You can say they suck. I'm saying they're in the playoffs. So I'm just saying, like, it's a playoff game. We talk about it when the Cowboys lose, so let's talk about when they win. So I'm just trying to say, the Packer game was a letdown on the defense on that last play, even though Dak was a rookie that year. You can go through this over and over again. Dak has, obviously, to me, enough to win to the championship round to get a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl. I truly 100% believe that because he's better, a lot better than Trent Dilfer. And he won a Super Bowl. Keep that in mind. You add the defense. You add an actual freaking offensive weapon like Brandon Cooks, and you schematically improve the skill set of your offense through Dak Prescott, through the running game, through the receivers you have. That's how you make a bigger difference than maybe you would think with the few moves we made, right? Oh, we got a receiver, we drafted a tight end, we got McCarthy running, calling the plays, and you got the defense, the offensive skill set still there, just waiting to be utilized properly. And that's what McCarthy, I hope, and I believe he will, because he's kind of the quarterback whisperer, as they call him. So he's got that ability. You just got to see it in play. He's got 3 years observing this. Not allowed to touch because we got Kellen Moore in the way, and Jerry Jones saying Kellen Moore's running the show. Now it's McCarthy's turn to show us what he's got or shit the bed and you're out of here next year. Dan Quinn's the head coach. That's what we're down to. And I think Dak Prescott is in the same boat here. He's got to do well this year under this new offense, or else he may be having trouble staying on board. It's going to make it a little more difficult for the Joneses to kind of accept the extension that's coming towards Dak Prescott. But I think you got to look at the context and see who's and what is truly the blame on things, whether it's the interceptions last year or how we do this year, how this offense is run. And then if the offense is going and Dak's just making bad decisions, Dak's the issue there. But if the offense is sputtering because the game plan ain't rolling, then it's more than just Dak and anybody else on this team. It's about the coaching and the game plan. So we'll see.
I think with the current situation, outside of Dak just throwing picks left, right, and center, I don't think you're going to be able to just look at any one particular part of the team and say, like, oh, this is the issue, reason. Yeah. So, but the Cowboys might find themselves backed into a corner if they don't make a decision one way or the other. That decision will probably be made for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be something that that's what we have to wait and see this season. I'm excited. I can't wait. But when the offense starts to be laid out, and we can see if that can pick up the offense, and they're all on the same page, we will be a much better offensive team than last year. I don't think let me put it this way. I don't want much better. I don't care about the points scored. We'll be, as long as we're more consistent, make a couple less mistakes. That goes for Dak and anybody else in this team. Drops on missed assignments, on blocks, everything. We can just all be on the same page on the McCarthy's offense. I think it's a much better offense than we had last year. And I think people are going to be surprised that are not Cowboy fans that have seen what's been going on here in Dallas, and the moves that are being made, and really know our team. You got to know our team.
Mm-hmm. So, let me see here. You guys cracked me up a little bit. Most football networks can't survive without mentioning the Dallas Cowboys.
You know how it is. ESPN, FS1, NFL Network, they love to hate us because they ain't us. Mm-hmm. And it gets some views and clicks. F them.
So, and I did want to just throw this out there. I don't think Dak makes any more or less mistakes than other quarterbacks. I just think it's obviously a much more high-profile situation when he makes a blunder.
Well, I think it's when he makes a blunder, it's like, why is he throwing it into triple coverage? Well, that's because the game plan is very obvious to the mistakes. Again, I'm not going to say that the Buccaneers, they knew in their Week 1 game, they said they basically had they knew the Cowboys every play. How could Tom Brady would fail in that scenario? Dak broke his hand in that game, his thumb. But my point is, when you hear that, it's not on the quarterback. I'm sorry. He's throwing in a triple coverage because Kellen Moore said the whole year, you're going to be more aggressive. And we heard this from Dak. We heard this from Kellen Moore. That was the plan. McCarthy's like, I don't like route options for the receivers. And that cost us 3 or 4 interceptions last year. So McCarthy's going to fix that. He taking those route options out. We already know that pretty much. And he's going to work to Dak's strengths, not force him into aggressive, throws on 3rd and 18 in a triple fucking coverage. Yeah, he'll make one of those and we'll celebrate it. And the Dak haters will be like, yeah, that was good. The next time he does it, it's a pick. Well, that's expected because you're playing with fire. And Dak was just taught to do that last year, right or wrong. I think it was wrong, but he's also the player listening to the coaches and trusting in the offense. This year, he's owning the offense, as McCarthy said, which means get on the same page as your coach. If McCarthy is on the same page with Dak and Dak with McCarthy, the players on the same page with all of them, we have an offense to be reckoned with. Mm-hmm. But these things are big ifs, and we got to see it happen.
So, let me see here. And yeah, by the way, Q Ball, what's up? Hello and hi. Snug X in the house representing.
Snug in the house. We know why he's here.
So, Mike is throwing out there, Dilfer got a Super Bowl on the back of Ray Lewis, the Ravens defense.
Exactly. And that is That is the again, Dilfer was just an average. He was not like Dak Prescott is 10 times better than Dilfer was, but they went to his skill set on offense. Didn't make him do too much. Now they can make Dak do more than Trent Dilfer, but when Dak wins the Super Bowl, guess what they're gonna say? It wasn't Dak. It was the defense that won the game for him, and they're gonna use the Trent Dilfer comparison. When in reality, we all know, if you watch Trent Dilfer, and I did watch Trent Dilfer in his entire career, you know Dak is a million times better than Trent Dilfer. No contest. They just played they just dinked and dunked and let the defense win. Dak is going to take advantage of the game plan, I hope, and his skill set in McCarthy's scheme, and we'll be able to get, 24 points on offense, but how many points are we going to get because of our defense? How many turnovers will they give us and put the ball on inside the 10, and the offense has got to get it in there? How many we get 10 points a game off the defense? Now we're scoring 34 points a game. The offense only got 24. All right, we're 24 points on offense every game. Cool. But our defense is getting us the other 10 in some shape, form, or fashion. So that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. To balance a team and be consistent is almost more important than just trying to be flashy and get 35 points of offense on that board. Consistent. That's not realistic. And it was just a pipe dream through Kellen Moore. When you saw him against bad defenses, we were able to put 40 points up on them. Different. A whole different thing now. Now it's going to be consistency, earn it, and put the team to sleep once you get them down. And I think the defense is going to put them to sleep. That's what I'm trying to say.
So, real quick, Roland Rodriguez said, great info on the Cowboys. You ready for training camp?
Hell yeah. We're always ready, right?
Yeah, of course. I was asking you specifically. So.
Well, I'm ready. I've been ready. I wish it started last week.
I was born ready.
I wish this should start last week.
Oh, messing with you a little bit. Let me kind of go back. Big Dell 8604, by the way, he said Kellen never does anything to help Dak when he doesn't have it. Better play calling will help a lot, and he's plenty talented though.
1,000%, and exactly what I've been saying for years here on this channel. Why does Kellen Moore not play to Dak's strengths? Why does he not play to his skill set? Why does he play to the Kellen Moore scheme and just say, you got to work around my scheme, deal with it? That's what Lenahan did with Garrett. That's what they did to Dak. And Kellen Moore just took the reins and kept doing it. Now we got McCarthy, I truly believe is, and again, this is because McCarthy does this, and he said this, and he's shown it in the past that he lets his quarterback own that offense, and he makes it so that it's quick and faster, and reads are faster. Dak's going to have 2 reads and break the pocket to extend the play, and then you get that dual threat option for 4 yards and 2nd and 6, or go to the 2nd level, 3rd level, who knows what, big play possibly sometimes. Dak throwing on 1st down. Now that's going to set us up for some very successful drives, and a very successful, hopefully more consistent offensive year. I've spoken to my larynx is falling out, guys. I'm about to.
Yeah, I think this is the final little question I'll throw your way before we ask everybody to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow us anywhere and everywhere at MyCowboysFamily. Hop into our Discord, link for that's in the description box down below. But the man SnugX,
yes,
shout out to you. He said MCF, if we're 500 by mid-season, would you be happy with that?
There's no way in hell that being 500 by the middle of the season would be happy. Yeah, there's no way. I would not
be happy with that.
Well, let's just look at it.
I mean, it does mean that someone somewhere is failing, personally.
Well, let's just look at it. I mean, obviously there's an issue there. Now, look, Giants, so it's going to be a good test, and don't get me wrong, but we got to win that game. We want to be solid in New York, right, kicking the season off. Jets with Aaron Rodgers, we'll see if they're ready to roll with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be great, but let's see if they're ready to go, with 1 week under their belt before they play us, right? Cardinals, we should handle them. The Patriots, I'm in Dallas, we should handle them. So, I mean, the Niners, Chargers, the Niners will be tough. Chargers, I know that Dan Quinn better beat Kellen Moore's offense there. Bye week, the Rams, yes, we win. We might be at that game. And then at the Eagles, that could be tough. But we could have 2 losses, 3 losses at most by that point. I mean, that's it. If we got 4 losses, it's a disappointment at that point, by that middle point. And again, the Giants and Carolina and Washington after that, come on. 2 of those 3 at home. The next fucking 4 out of 5 are at home. We got to win out in those games pretty much. And I think we do that. We're sitting really good there with maybe 3 losses at the most there entering the last 4 games of the season. Tough games. Still, nonetheless, that's the way you got. You got to win it. You got to be tough. You got to be consistent the entire fucking year, especially the playoffs. So, hey, I'd be disappointed if we were 500 by week 9 or week 10. I'd be very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Did I say I'd be disappointed? Yeah.
I think you might be disappointed.
Just a bit disappointed, yeah.
Oh, so let me go ahead and start doing some of the final shout-outs here. But
I want to remind everybody, as we close it out, remember, guys, there is course, different ways to drop the love here. Oops, sorry. Different ways to drop the love here on MCF, My Cowboys Family, as we do a quick final commercial, I guess you can say, baby. It's Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, message on screen. You guys know it's all written in there. You guys know how to do it. But this week it's about that raffle. This Sunday, July 9th, 6-year anniversary raffle for a sewn and stitched jersey of your choice. About 30 different players, old and new, legends and current stars. Guys, make sure you guys get in this raffle. There's also a second place consolation prize for second place, for the second name grabbed in this raffle. And it's a t-shirt with the Cowboys, written logo there by the man Skeptical Fan. Much love to him, making another prize come true here. But on this 6-year anniversary, how do people get their raffle entries? What's the way of them getting it as we close it out tonight? Got a couple days left. Saturday is the last night. Sunday is the raffle.
That's right. But yes, if you drop $6, bam, you're automatically entered. Every additional $6 on top of that is an additional entry. And of course, membership has its perks. If you'd like an additional 1, 2, or 3 entries, respectively, if you're part of that Navy Blue, Silver, or Star, you do get those bonus entries.
That's that membership side of things, the membership perks, I guess you could say. And yes, in case you didn't know, in August, we're kicking off the usual star level. It's the star level, raffles. And that means this sewn and stitched jersey. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I can't really speak too much on it. You guys know, you guys haven't been at Ask Around, the star level members will have their monthly jersey raffle, one lucky winner every month, and that in the star level or above will be entered in that, and we'll get one of these. But this is an extra bonus one here. You can just jump in it, stack raffle entries. And as I said, Jason Renfro and others gave love today, and even Eastside Harold, it's stacking for other entries for not just the one they have already, but multiple entries. So good luck to all in this, and thank you guys on our 6-year anniversary on YouTube. It's insane. Now we're officially, we got 6. We want 6 Super Bowls. We got to get 6 and beyond, and we're right now beyond on MCF on YouTube. 7th year already has kicked off here on My Cowboys Family. As I stay quiet, baby, let's do the final shout-outs here.
Yes, let me see. We have Mike Aldana, of course. Much love to you. Snug X representing. Rolando Rodriguez, have a great night. I love Bean Dip represents. Much love. Sorry, that name still cracks me up.
It's classic.
Q Ball, hello and hi. Have a great night.
Yeah.
We have Big Dow 8604. Burn Bar, which, by the way, Burn, remember, don't forget, shoot us that email, mycowboysfamily@gmail.com, so we can get that hat to you. Skeptical Fan, always staying skeptical.
Always. Our membership gifting leader for another month, maybe 3 in a row. We'll see.
Thomas Garrett, the Superior. Garrett.
Superior.
Let me see. Mike Aldana, take it easy. B Bird, much love. Have a great night.
Skeptical said only 35 days for Dallas and Jacksonville preseason. Hell yeah. Q-Ball said 27 points a game. I'll take it because we'll still win with that defense.
Yeah, lost in translation. Take it easy. But yeah, that's actually as far as I can go.
Well, you know what that means, baby. It's a wrap here at My Cowboys Family for another one in the books. And before we can drop out of here, baby, let them know why we do this every single night crazily here on My Cowboys Family. What is it about?
It's about that navy blue, that silver too, and that star over everything.
You know it, guys. Win, lose, or draw, good, bad, or ugly. Right here, My Cowboys Family. It's always about that star over everything. Never forget that. Never, ever forget that. And, of course, 6 years and beyond officially, now in our 7th official year. Never forget here on YouTube, the number one thing here, now and forever, for this channel, My Cowboys Family, as always, and say it with us, Go Cowboys! Let's get that 6. You see it on my shirt. Get that 6 and beyond. Thank you all for dropping the knowledge in the chat all night long. Cannot do this without you guys with the experience. You guys are the ish. You guys will keep this thing going, running, and the conversation flowing. Also, of course, humbled by the best fans of all YouTube, the drops of love from above, whether membership like Lincoln Kane back in that star, Skeptical Fan gifting memberships, B Bird in the house, even Eastside sneaking around. Of course, Jason Renfro, the Cash App King and Leader and Sponsor of the Week, and Stream Boss, 8 points, Aikman style, Dwayne Broussard giving thanks with our other video, and of course, dropping the love here pre-stream. Thank you all for the support and the love on that side of things. Can't do this thing without you guys on the nightly. Consistently, like we want to see our Cowboys, right? So thank you guys for making it a little bit easier. Do this thing on a consistent basis. On that note, all good things must come to an end. It is time to clock out and drop out for the night, baby. Before we can relock and reload for a Fan Friday tomorrow, what do we got to do in here before we drop out for the night?
We have to say thank you real quick to Brandon James Shea,
You
who
scared
dropped
the
the dollar holler.
I completely blindsided there. I'm sorry. Thank you for that, Mr. Brandon James Shea on the house.
And guys, yes, the
Go
raffle, by the
Cowboys.
way, in case you didn't know, is going to be this Sunday. So this Saturday's live stream is your last chance to, get any kind of entries locked in.
Yeah, we're trying not to miss any days. It might miss a Saturday maybe. So again, should be back tomorrow on Saturday. You want to get in? Definitely, you could drop the love when we're not even live. Like I said, through the thanks button, through the Cash App. There's other ways of doing that, but we'll tally it all up. And Saturday night after the stream ends, it closes down. Sunday raffles. We'll be ready, and we will have a wrap up for the week, Cowboy news, and of course the finale, not just for the week, but to see who wins the 6-year anniversary jersey, along with the second place prize, the great t-shirt from Skeptical Fan. Appreciate everybody doing the thing here. Much love, Brandon James Shea. Jason Renford has 7 points on the stream, boss. And baby, now before we can drop out for the night officially, what do I got to do? What do we got to do before we drop out of here?
We got to drop the beat.
Oh, yeah. I think you were speaking for me there. like my person, my VTuber was jumping around when you were...
I do speak for you.
You do speak for me. And we both speak for wanting 6. Not just 6 here on MCF. We got 6. 6 Super Bowls for our Dallas Cowboys and beyond. Thank you all for rocking with us. Remind every Eagle fan, you see 6, right? Remind them 5 is always greater than 1. Hell yeah. And thank you all for rocking here with us. Another Cowboys chat in the books. Finally got that kicker. We got a kicker. I don't know about that kicker, but we got a kicker to compete with Tristan Vizcaino. We'll see what Brandon, Aubrey can do for us. Accurate, but not a strong leg kicker. We shall see how this changes or fits into McCarthy's scheme. Of course, Micah, even with his son around, working out with his son. I love it. Tyler Smith doing his thing on and off the field, but right now learning hard, great work ethic. And he's protecting Dak because those fools over there, Joy Taylor and Shady and Emmanuel Acho, FS1, their crew of idiots talking shit about Dak Prescott. We got that cleared up. I think we're all on the same page now. It's about clicks. We clicked them right out of here on MCF. It's about that navy blue, that silver too, that star over everything. Never, ever forget the number one thing right here in this channel. The number one thing right here on My Cowboys Family. Much love to all, to everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Fan Friday, for another one. Much love to all. Hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell. See you all soon. Have a good night. Stay safe. Peace. And never, ever forget, Go Cowboys!